So here's the question of the day. What kind of muffin do I make? Chocolate chip? Blueberry? Banana nut? Or just plain? We can make all these muffins with just one batter. Let me show you how. When I'm asked to make muffins for an event like a brunch, I always like to make a variety, and I like to make them a little healthy. Plus, my family likes a bunch of different flavors. So I've got a foolproof banana muffin recipe that comes out perfect every time, and my kids love it. It's super easy to make. All you have to do is add your flaxseed to the water and mix that together. That is going to be what we call a flax egg and replace the egg in the recipe. Let's set that aside and we will start working on our wet ingredients. In our wet ingredients, we're going to start with 3 mashed bananas. I like to use the ones with spots on them, and I will use a potato masher to mash my bananas because I find that it gets the job done more quickly. You can easily mash them with a fork if you would like. It looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and put the rest of our ingredients in. All right, so into our bananas, we're going to go ahead and add some neutral tasting oil. I am also going to add some vanilla almond milk. I like to use vanilla here, but you can use plain if you like. I'm also adding vanilla extract, and we're going to add our sugar. We always add sugar to the wet ingredients so the sugar dissolves in the liquid and it is more dispersed throughout the batter more evenly. Now the last thing we're going to add is our flax egg, and as you can see, it thickened up nicely and it will add a lot of moisture to our muffin. All right, there we go. Let's give that a quick stir. Once we get all that stirred up, we can start working on our dry ingredients. The recipe calls for 4 cups of flour. I like to make a mix of flour, some whole grain flour and also some white flour, so it's a nice fluffy muffin. So today I am going to use oat flour and also white flour. When measuring your dry ingredients, you want to use the scoop and level method. This is the best way to make sure you get the right amount of flour and you don't get too much flour. So let's go ahead and use a tablespoon to scoop the flour into the cup, and then we'll level that off with the edge of the spoon. Okay, so I've got 4 cups of oat flour in my bowl, and we're going to add the remaining ingredients. Add our baking powder and also our salt. We'll give that a quick stir and make sure it's evenly distributed throughout the flour. And then we can go ahead and add some spice. We're going to do some cinnamon and just a tiny pinch of nutmeg. Do not overdo the nutmeg because it does have a strong flavor. Go ahead and add your wet ingredients to your dry ingredients, and you can start to mix that together. You don't want to over mix your muffins or they will get tough, so just continue to mix that until you don't see any more dry flour. You will still see lumps in the batter because you do have bananas in there, and that's okay. Don't worry about the lumps, just make sure you don't see any of the dry flour. Okay, it's time to separate our batter so that we can make different flavors. You can just divide the batter up into 3 separate bowls. It does not matter how much you put in each bowl. You can make more of one type of muffin than other if you prefer. And you can leave some in the main bowl for plain if you would like. It looks like I undermixed my batter, but don't worry about that. I told you this was a foolproof recipe, and it is. I'm just going to go ahead and mix that flour in and continue dividing up my batter. In the first bowl, I'm going to add chocolate chips. This is the bowl that has the most batter in it because I like chocolate chip the best. And then we're going to add some toasted walnuts to this bowl. That's my husband's favorite. And now the last one, we're going to do blueberries. My kids love blueberry muffins, so we're going to do blueberry muffins there. Let's stir up each one of these bowls and get ready to make some muffins. Okay, guys. We have 3 different muffins here. Let's get our muffin pan ready. If you want to make your muffins look a little more professional, you can always use fancy muffin papers. I'm just using some metallic red ones here, but there's a lot of fancy muffin papers that you can get anywhere, and that will make your muffins look more professional. Filling your muffin pan, it's good to use an ice cream scoop because the ice cream scoop keeps the edges of the muffins clean, but it also helps you make even-sized muffins, so make sure they're all about the same size. Lastly, when you fill your muffins, you want to fill them pretty full. When you're making a vegan muffin, you need the muffin pan to be fuller than you would if you're making a regular muffin. And we do not have any egg, so we're going to fill our muffin cups a little fuller. The first topping for our banana nut muffins is simply brown sugar and toasted nuts to make a topping for our banana nut muffins. Just give that a quick stir together and sprinkle it on top of each of your banana nut muffins. Don't be shy or stingy with this topping. You want to put as much topping on as you can fit on top. It may look messy, but when you bake it, it will come out looking The next topping we're going to do is like a crumble topping. It simply has some sugar, some flour, and some plant-based butter. It's not a pretty topping, but when the butter melts in the oven, it will make a beautiful top for your muffins. And people will think you spent hours in the kitchen making muffins for your event. Lastly, we're going to put some chocolate chips on top of our chocolate chip muffins. This just makes them look a little prettier and helps us to know that these are chocolate chip muffins, so people who at the party can choose the ones that they want. Yum! Look at that, our muffins are ready to go in the oven. I'm so excited! These muffins look fantastic. The muffins are out of the oven. When you're cooking with flaxseed as a neighbor replacer, you're gonna wanna let the muffins cool in the pan for a little while before you pull them out. Otherwise, they'll be too soft. But these have been cooling for just a minute, and look at delicious muffin. So good and perfect every time. At any party, they're gone in an instant.